Hello LinkedIn, Tony Ross here. Continuing the series of videos on things I've learned or I'm learning from my contacts on LinkedIn. Today I want to talk about public speaking, a subject which fills me, or did fill me, with terror. And I have to admit, it still has me quaking in my boots a little bit. For a lot of us, public speaking's not something we have to do very often, if at all. For me, public speaking is more or less limited to these videos that I'm now recording. The reason I say that is because I find that they instill in me the same nerves, the same excitement, if you want to call it that, that going in front of an audience would. Although I suspect going in front of an audience would amplify that manyfold. But anyway, I looked around for some hints and tips on public speaking, and I came across some hints and tips that were put out by another of my LinkedIn contacts, a nice chap called Billy Farrell, whom I'm sure a lot of you know. Billy did a podcast recently about that very subject, and he gives 3 tips. I think the tips need to be in a slightly different order, so I'm going to kind of put them out as I use them. The first one I think should be know your subject. So if you know your subject, if you can imagine, I can't imagine the fear that would be within me if I had to stand in front of a number of people, even if it was only 5 people, and talk about a subject that I knew very little about. You know, you can imagine you've been handed a report. I was looking around for a piece of paper there. You've been handed a report and it contains some paragraphs that you've just read 5 minutes beforehand, and now you've got to give a presentation on it. I've been in that situation before and it was terrifying. I felt really uncomfortable. I felt really unprepared, as you would, having only had a few minutes beforehand. And I felt I wasn't ready for any questions that may have been thrown at me, because really, how could I answer them? I would maybe end up saying, thanks for your question, I'll need to look at that offline and get back to you if that's okay. It's not really the way to do it. So if you know your subject, then that's one thing out of the way. You know the subject matter, you know it very well, you're therefore prepared for most questions that could be thrown at you. You could even elaborate on things and you know, improve the talk or whatever, but knowing your subject is really key. The second one for me is speaking with passion and being authentic. I don't imagine for 1 minute any of you would be willing to listen to me or watch any of these posts if I tried to do some sort of American voiceover, one of the movie trailer voiceovers. Hey LinkedIn, how's it going? How are y'all today? I'm pleased to be here. You wouldn't accept that from me for 1 minute. You really wouldn't. You'd tune out, or you'd be laughing your socks off at me, which would be a good outcome. You have to be authentic. You have to speak in your own voice. Now, I'm talking to me here, bear in mind. I have to speak in my own voice. I've watched many videos on LinkedIn, I've listened to many podcasts, and whilst I admire a lot of the different methods that those people have used to deliver their messages, and while I think it's okay to not emulate but take some of the way that they do it on board, I believe I have to be authentic. I have to be me. It has to be my voice. It can't be anyone else's, because you'd spot that as being false a mile off. And it has to be my personality. It can't be me trying to be someone else, you know, trying to convince you of one thing that I don't actually believe myself. So I have to be authentic and deliver my message as if I've only got one chance to do it. So I don't have many, you know, chances. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're standing up in front of a crowd, unless you're doing this for, you know, a week, you know, you're on stage all week, then you've only got one chance, haven't you? So you've got to make the best of it. So that's 2. And then the final one, which was originally suggested as the first one. If I know my subject, I'm comfortable with that, I'm being authentic, I'm being me, and I'm speaking with passion, and the passion is driven by my knowledge of the subject, and it's driven also by the fact that I'm only getting the one chance to do it or to talk about it. The final one is manage your state. And by that, it's kind of how you are feeling, what you're thinking. If, you'll be nervous, you'll be excited, you'll have the butterflies in the stomach. I think if you go on stage and you don't have that, for me, I think there'd be something wrong. Even if you're standing in front of, if you're going for an interview, another terrifying thing. Know your state, know how you're feeling and accept that. Understand and talk to yourself and tell yourself that because you know your subject, because you're going to be, you know how you feel, you're going to be passionate about it, you're going to be authentic, then that should help with the state that you're in. I certainly find that when I'm talking on here, because I'm talking to you about things that I'm learning and have learned, I've got comfort from 2 perspectives. One, it's things I'm learning, so I can tell you what I'm learning, there's no problem with that. And 2, if I fluff it up, if I mess it up in some form or way, you're not going to be bothered by that, because I'm not here lecturing you, I'm telling you what I'm learning. So I'm comfortable from that perspective. Anyway, bit of a longer post for this one. Apologies for that, but it was a lot to say. Again, thanks to Billy Farrell for his amazing content day in, day out. Wouldn't be anywhere near doing this without the likes of Billy and all of my other contacts on LinkedIn. I'd love to hear what you think. How do you handle public speaking, whether it's to a monitor to record a video or whether you actually go in front of an audience? How do you handle it? How do you prepare? What are your, if you've any tricks, any tips, what are they? Equally, please leave some comments about this video. I'm getting better at this, I think. I'm finding a comfort zone. I'm feeling more comfortable doing it, and that's good because I'll be able to open up more. But I'd like to hear what you think. Are there things I can do better? You know the score. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.